Hello, welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 370. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mello. You know what time it is. Time to delve into something that's on my mind. And today, the question is, who are you? So, without the job title, the tech devices you own, the money you make, the apartment you live in or house you own, without the car you drive, who are you? When there are no labels bestowed upon you, who are you really? Do you really know who you are, or are you confined to the labels of what society bestows upon us? Are you focused on being a son, daughter, nephew, niece, cousin, brother, sister, a human being first? That's part of us and who we are. That's within our identity. That's what makes us who we are from the family aspect of things, first and foremost. We're so easily quick to say the things I said in, the first few moments of this podcast instead of really just saying we are human beings. It's what society has programmed us to do and be. We forget to think for ourselves sometimes in who we really are. Yes, when we are born, there's a race and ethnicity attached to us that separates us from everyone else, but that doesn't define us in its entirety. That's the lineage of our family and our ancestors. It's hard for us to tell others who we are because we don't take the time to think about it. We attach what we do for work or our passions to who we are. And that's just a small portion of what our lives are and consist of. Who you are is what you feel within your soul and spirit. It's what you experience in life. It's how you manage your day-to-day mentally. It's how you manage your emotions if you explore who you are daily, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what satisfies your soul. Those are the components of what makes us who we are. Now, if you were to ask me who I am, I would say I am a human being living in an experience for an allotted time. And when that time is up, my soul leaves my body and we move on to another lifetime. That's just my thoughts and who I am. And there are other components to me, but are you asking yourself who you are? Do you let the media control you? Do you let social media control you? Do you let print media control you? Do you let outside influences control you? Family, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, music artists, actors, actresses, the fashion industry, music. Do they influence who you are? Or can you separate yourself from all of those entities and say, that is not who I am? I participate in those aspects, but that doesn't make me who I am. We are engulfed and entrenched in designer clothes, but that doesn't make us who we are. Because, God forbid, you lose all of your clothes. Then who are you at that point? We define ourselves sometimes by the brands that we wear. Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, Nike. Those are just a few of the brands that I wear very often. But it doesn't define who I am. Think about all the name brand stuff that you buy or you may own. And if you're someone who's very low maintenance and you don't own a ton of name brand stuff, that is a beautiful thing. And kudos to you if you're listening. But the reality is we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I look good and feel good with the name brand stuff, the Chanels and the Fendis and the Salvatore Ferragamo and, Vera Wang, whatever name brand you like. American Eagle, Aeropostale, you know, you name it, it's there, right? They give us options all the time. But at night, when you're in your pajamas that aren't the big name brand, and you know the lights are off and you're in a dark room and you only are staring at walls, that's when you really know who you really are. When there are no more distractions, there's no more noise pollution to keep you from really finding your true self. And your true self comes with all of the ups and downs that you're going to go through. And none of it is easy. I always say it, life is not easy. But I also try my best not to say that life is hard, even though it can be. I like to say life is challenging, because it is. And it's an everyday process of learning who we are. And if we are taking the time to reflect on who we are and who we are becoming. And experiences shape who we are also. We cannot forget that. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent experiences that we've gone through, it shapes who we are in some ways. It doesn't define who we are, but it shapes who we are. We all have a life story. And there are good parts, there are bad parts, there are indifferent parts. And from my perspective in my own life story, I've experienced a lot. I've lost 3 family members in one summer. That's just reality. And I was only 7. Yeah, 7 or 8. I don't remember the exact age. I always forget and get confused. But I'll say for good reason, I was 8 years old. Lost both of my grandmothers, and my mom's uncle died. All in the same summer. And that's just a small portion of, my experiences. They don't define me, but let's just say I've experienced plenty of life situations that I wouldn't want anyone to go through. And I'm quite sure you have certain experiences that you wouldn't want anyone to go through. But it doesn't define you. So who are you? Who are you at the end of the day when your head hits your pillow and it's time for your body to decompress and it's time for you to go to bed and it's time for you to get off of Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of those distractions? Who are you when you are alone and by yourself? Because a lot of people can't be by themselves. They can't manage. But can you? If you have a significant other, can you go a week without them? Let's just say they have to go on a work trip. Can you manage not having them around? Some people can, some people can't. For me, I am naturally a loner. I'm an only child, so it's very easy for me to be by myself and to myself. Part of my personality is me rolling solo. And I do have a good amount of friends, and I do hang out with them, but it's not an all the time thing. So I know that part of who I am, I'm good. I can be by myself. And I can name a myriad of things that I do by myself that make me happy. And a lot of it is the simplest things. Cleaning my apartment, cooking myself dinner, going on a bike ride, getting a basketball workout, working out at the gym, watching a documentary on the many apps that I do have. Dag, now that I think about it, I have like 5 of them that I pay for. Whew. Yeah, let's think. Yeah, I have about 5. Yeah, that I pay for every month. And I probably watch about 3 of them regularly. But anyway. What other things? Oh, reading. Going to the pool. Playing video games from time to time. when I have the opportunity to do that. Writing this podcast. So I have so many things that I do on my own that make me happy. And it's part of who I am. It's part of my journey. It's part of my elevation to being the best version of myself. So it's easy for me. Being in a relationship or being with someone doesn't really define me. I'm cool. I'm fine without it. So that's who I am. And that's just some of the smaller components of what makes me who I am. So, to end this, who are you? Take the time to think about who you are, where you are currently, and where you're going. And I'll leave it at that. That's my podcast for today. I thank you for listening as always. Always remember, theaquariummindpodcast.com is the website. Have a good week. Be good. And go accomplish your goals.